Hey Fox, this is your friend Jackson. Are you curious what's the most important job in the film and television industry? Hey, I'm right here in BFA. Let's go. What is the most important job in the film and television industry?
Because it is essentially the head
Okay.
of the team and the crew. Because without what are you going to do? Without there's no story, there's no movie. It doesn't make any sense, you know?
The is also known as the director of. They are working as the translator between the art and the technology.
I feel like it's really important for because we're not model industry or we're not anything. What costs the most is our heart, what our emotions.
So what about you? What about you? What about you? What about you? What? He says script writer. Guys, script writer. Hey Fox, I got all of the answers. And what is your guess? Back to you, Enoch.
Thank you so much, Jackson. Welcome to this vertical format of this brand new Power of Youth Plus. I am your host, Enoch Wong from Hong Kong, China. So what is your answer to this question? What is the most important job in the film and television industry? Maybe you need a couple more seconds to think, that's okay. So I'm going to take you walk around this beautiful campus of the Beijing Film Academy, the higher education institution and the training ground of future movie stars and director or even more. So why do you take a walk with me? So welcome back. While I was walking around the campus, I grabbed two of my friends with me, which is Steph from the Netherlands and Maki from Pakistan. They'll be helping me to reveal the top 5 answer of what is the most important job in film and television industry. So are you guys ready?
Yeah, sure.
Why don't we have ladies first? So Maki, what do you think? What is the top 5 jobs in this film and television industry?
Director.
Director. So director, I was told, is number 1 of the answer.
Ooh, yes.
So you are director yourself, right?
Definitely.
So I'm very, very interested. How do you get started as a director?
How did I start as a director?
Yeah.
Well, I used to act and model since
Okay.
the age of 16. So the first time I saw a female director giving direction, and she was bossing around. So
And they got a lovely chair, which has got director
yes,
as well,
there was
right?
like a chair, and behind that it was labeled director. So I was like, oh, this is the most important person.
Steph, I'm coming to you. What
Yeah.
do you think? What else do you think is a popular answer among here?
Well, then I'm gonna go with acting.
Acting, right? So acting, I was told your classmate and your colleague actually is the 3rd most popular. Actor and actresses.
Whoa.
So you study acting, right?
Yeah.
So we have a lot of famous actor and actresses who have never studied acting before, but you actually do research in acting. So tell me a little bit more. So why you actually end up studying acting?
Well, doing research in acting and like studying acting as a thing are actually 2 different things. But obviously, first of all, you need to know how to act before you can do research in acting. If we're speaking about doing research in acting, then we are more interested in why people act and what is acting, and like what I'm studying
So why
is
do you act?
what I'm studying is performing arts.
Okay.
And why I am acting is I think that by acting I can get to know more about other people, because I can put myself in other people's shoes and I can understand how they look at life.
So I'm absolutely curious. I'm from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Obviously, Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan are very, very famous in Hong Kong. They're from Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Do you study them? What do you think about them?
Yeah, I definitely study them. They're very important. And like I also study about how martial arts has been changed over the years, because it used to be something to like attack people, but then it became more of a performing art. And I think for the Western world, Bruce Lee is a very, very important character, because after 1973, like Enter the Dragon, this movie, before this movie, the Western public didn't actually know Chinese martial arts, Kung Fu.
Do you know much about martial arts?
Yes,
and
yes,
Kung Fu?
I have been.
Is that the reason why you come to China as well?
I personally want to learn it. I
Okay.
have been aiming to learn it since 5 years, but never got the time. But fine, that's what we were talking about actually.
So let's move on and we can have more conversation about this.
Director and
So
actor.
coming back to you, what else do you think is on the board?
Cinematographer.
Cinematographer. So cinematographer, I was told, is number
Wow.
4.
I didn't expect that.
Same, I didn't expect that.
Or are you gonna do without a camera?
Come on.
So this is same as camera person, right? So the technical term is cinematographer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Or for most people, they will know the camera. So interesting, cinematographer, talk about cinema. Interesting question to you both. When was the last time you've been to a cinema? When's the last time you've been to cinema? How often
Ladies
do you go to
first.
cinema? How often do you go
Every
to
time
cinema?
it's ladies first, okay,
Yeah.
fine. Well, last time, it's been a while. I think it's been like 6-7 months.
Okay.
But before that,
I
when-
would imagine you guys go every day. How about you? Do you go to cinema and watch your own movies?
Well, I did once because I only once had this opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I go to the cinema about twice a month. Yeah.
Okay. So and how do you get into movies then if you only go like once every year or once every 6 months?
Here, you know, when you're like looking for opportunities and your career goals, what you want to be in future.
Yeah.
So at that time, I used to go and watch a lot of movies. I was literally a movie junkie.
Yeah.
So
Do you go like every day?
almost every day.
So this is an interesting question.
Almost.
Interesting question for you both, right? Because you watch so much movies, I assume, in classes as well.
Yeah.
If you go to a movie and it end up being a very bad movie, do you walk out? Or do you stay until the end because you want to see if there's anything else that you can make notes on in future practices? What do you do?
I used to sit.
You
I
sit
used to
through the
sit
whole entire thing, even
till-
it's terrible.
Yes, till the credits, and I would just sit, watch the credits as well, and then I would
Oh.
make notes too. Actually,
Okay. So for you, it's almost like doing homework. For you, will you
may-
walk out? Be
may-
honest.
Maybe in the darkest places you can see a bit of light.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can learn from other people their mistakes, so
Yeah.
we don't have to make these mistakes
Okay.
ourselves.
So for both of you, as opposed to entertainment, is a little bit more like doing
learning.
homework.
Yeah, it's homework.
So I want to come to you a little bit because I know besides acting on the big screen,
Yeah.
you're also an influencer. You do short videos.
I
as
do
well,
actually,
right?
yeah.
So interesting question because cinematography. We used to think of movies on the big screen on the cinema,
Yeah.
but increasingly across the world, we've been watching movies on internet platform,
Yes.
and now in shorter formats.
Yes.
I want to ask you, do you think there's this hierarchy in the industry? Do you think people think internet format is inferior than the big screen?
I think currently there is.
Okay.
And I think that is also because like on the internet you have a much broader amount of people who can actually put movies online. So also very non-professional people can just shoot a little thing and just put it online and then it is something.
Do you think this is? Will you call this movie though?
No, that's not. But it's a part of the industry.
This will be a very contentious topic, right?
It's a part of the industry. If you speak about
Okay.
like TikTok or these kind of things, then yeah, it's a part of it. But if you look at all the things which are on TikTok or Douyin currently, then there's also quite professional things going on. Like there's actual people who studied movies and they make like 1-minute series. So yeah, the industry
Talk about
is
1-minute series. We had this conversation just before we start.
yeah.
You're quite a big fan of mini series as well, right?
Yep,
This
I like them.
addictive element of it. Tell me a little bit more. What do you think of this mini series? Do you think this will be taking over the movie entertainment industry?
Well, that's not gonna happen because we like variety. Humans
Okay.
always like variety.
Yeah.
So 1 minute would always be there, but then there always gonna be like other time span as well.
As a director, would you prefer doing like big screen 3-hour-long movies or shorter version of it?
I will love that.
You would love that.
That's my goal actually. I'm more into feature films
Okay.
and even if it's short films, it's like 30-40 minutes for me because I like to like delve into characters and I need to build characters, and for that you need time.
Yeah. So both of you are like insiders. So I'm gonna ask you one more question. Is that like what I'm hearing is that sometimes if you make it in the internet movie space,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to move to the big screen as opposed to the other way around. Do you agree?
I agree. Actually, most of the times it's difficult because people don't take you
Seriously.
seriously.
Okay. So for you who does short videos, do you have this worry and concern that people might not take you seriously?
I don't think we should worry too much.
Okay.
And I think that it also depends how professional you are. Because
Okay.
if you are very professional and people see it is actually something, then they're gonna take you serious whatsoever. If you want to make movies just as like a director, it's also really hard to get into the industry. It's also really difficult to like start to make movies. So if you go from this way in or from that way in, it's both pretty hard. But like in the TikTok, in the Douyin place, we can see how many people mess up and how many people don't manage. But we don't see how many people don't manage to become a director because these people are unknown.
Because if you don't make it, you don't make it.
Yes.
You never heard of it.
Exactly.
It's like there's no right or wrong way. It's like you have to try from every way and see which one's gonna work.
So you mentioned something interesting about this minute-long soap opera, right? Are you guys into it? What do you guys think of it? This addicted commercialization element of this. You know, with I think US, there's a very, very popular, even more popular than TikTok in certain weeks on the App Store called Real Shorts. It's minute-long soap opera. What do you guys think of this trend?
I think first we need to understand why it's happening because you know, like these days people don't have time. They don't go to cinemas. So it's like if someone's sitting in like a subway and doesn't have
In a
time,
transit,
it's
right?
just passing time. So
on the phone.
that person would just scroll and look and just like move on. So it's more engaging in that way.
But going back to your point, I think this is also opportunity for directors and different actors to try out different storytelling technique as well, right?
But this is the thing, in terms of filmmaking, when he's got a point that, you know, when we study so much and we put so much experience in it, we want to like create something with details. So this is not too much detail and we miss a lot of chunks. So even when we show a character like the protagonist, we try to show like what's his background life is and how he's battling.
Before we move on, I will come back to Steph because you spent the whole day yesterday, I know, that shooting, you know, short movies. There's a lot of details that go into it, right?
Yes, but not the same amount of details as they're going into a script, into a movie. It's not the same. But
I was trying to disagree with you. It didn't work.
But the funny thing is, like, if you want to do research, then it's a very interesting thing because you can see how many people do like it, how many people are interested,
you get
and how many
instant
times.
feedback.
You have instant feedback, so you can see which direction you should go. So it's different. Like in a movie, you spend like a year to make this movie, and then finally you have it and you bring it out, and then to get the feedback is actually pretty hard.
I love this comment. So one last question before we move on. So for both of you, do you evaluate the outcome based on box office or peer review? What do you think? Box office or review?
After you.
Seriously?
Ladies first.
As a director,
he's sitting for the
as a director.
Okay, but I can't answer it like that because you know, box office is depending on the tickets. The more people buy the tickets, so that's how you make money through box office. It's like on #1 box office. So you can't just say it if people like the movie through box office. So peer review, I would say.
But without money, it's difficult to be sustainable. It's difficult to get the next job, right? It's difficult to get the next gig as well.
Yeah, that's true. You can't produce your next film if you don't have money.
For you?
That's fair enough. And it's also that, like, if people go to the movies and they like it, they will tell their friends, and their friends will go to the movies as well. So the box office actually makes.
But I would argue against that, and because a lot of times, really, really bad movies that get a very high box office as well. People just go to the cinema for the sake of seeing how bad this movie is. Okay, maybe a discussion for another time. There's 2 more answers on the board. So what do you think?
Him first?
Yes. Go for it.
I think might be drawing because we have also movies which are like drawn out, like as in cartoons.
Drawing.
Because like cinematography is down there, it's really strange, and I think the only
This
way
is
that
what your classmate answer.
It's not about us. Yeah.
Okay, then I go for sound.
Sound, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
so
was my answer. No, that's
Okay,
you need to think of another answer. You need to think of another answer. So it's actually. So we put editor because there's a lot of post-production that happens as well, right? So there's sound, there's different
editor
editing.
can cover sound too, so it goes with that.
So it goes with that too.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
So let us wrap up, and then let me ask you, Maki, what is the second? What do you think is second?
Okay. I'm gonna say script, screenwriting.
You guys are good.
Without that, everything is impossible. This is the
you're
first
both
thing.
as well, screenwriting
This
and
is the
script
first
writing as well.
thing.
So this is what your classmate, it's not very scientific, but this is what your classmate have answered when we go around the campus yesterday and ask them what is the most important job. Of course, I absolutely agree, we work as a team. So we're in Beijing right now. So just last week, Beijing just launched the Beijing International Film Festival. And I noticed something quite interesting. There's a new category this year. It's called AIGC Short Film, which is Artificial Intelligence. You're smiling, I'm gonna get your comment very soon. Artificial Intelligence Generated Content Short Film category. And we actually asked one of my friends, AI, Pi, which is from our previous episode, we asked the AI this following question. With increasing AIGC, what do you think, which job that we discussed just now is going to become obsolete? Let's hear what the Pi have to answer.
Consider this. I can now synthesize entire performances with unmatched creativity and no human limitations, potentially making traditional actors obsolete. And it's cheaper too. I want to emphasize that this is not an attempt to make actors jobless. It's an attempt to make movies better. Tic-tac-toe, a winner.
AI is literally challenging the actress. Tic-tac-toe.
Indeed, right? I think the AI is watching too much TikTok movie or US hearing lately. So acting. So AI judgment is that acting will become obsolete. What do you think? Are you worried for your job?
I'm not worried at all. And I don't think that AI is going to take our jobs, but maybe the person who uses AI is going to take our jobs. But also about acting, I think it is very much an art, and it is something that people like to express. So whatsoever, however you can have AI who is making actors absolute, there's always going to be people who like to act, and there's always people who like to be acting.
But do you think AI will do a better job than actor?
I would doubt it, because actually people like to have somebody who they look up to. Like people like to have
to relate to a real
relate
person
to.
that can
Yeah,
connect
yeah,
to.
Yeah, yeah, like
Because I imagine as an actor, you do a lot of pre-interview, post-interview. There's a lot of marketing to build up this persona.
Yes, definitely.
well.
And people like to know the story of this person, what this person went through, he broke through, and like these kind of things.
And you
like,
spoke, and from this, I can have a sense of how much study that you need to do before actually going into acting, right? To understand, to build a persona, to build a portfolio of what this actor is. I want to go to the director. What do you think about AI? Tech or no tech for you?
Both.
Okay.
Okay, it depends. If you're like a independent filmmaker, AI is a very good thing, because you don't have to suffer through money issues and location issues and the 10 dozens
Cheaper,
of other
more
issues.
convenient,
Cheaper, more
more
convenient.
efficient.
Yes, like that. But on the other side, if I think, I'm old school in my way, so I would prefer actually the real actors acting, the real directors directing. That's how we have been brought up and we have been seeing. And I think that, even if the AI can do, of course, they're going to be efficient with their jobs, but, acting is about emotions.
Yep.
It's about getting to the character. It's more human than AI. You can't teach an AI that. So, it's these many expressions through your eyes that an actor gives. I mean, it's about the feeling. It all has to do with that, but I don't think so AI can go up to that
So as a director,
level.
what you look for in storytelling is to convey this emotion through acting and through different means like cinematographer, etc. in this as well. Thank you so much. I think this is a wonderful conversation. I feel like we can have this conversation all day. So I'm going to end this by quoting one of my, I think I would say this one of the most celebrated and influential director, Li An, from Taiwan, China. And he said, for him, starting off a movie is all about emotion. And for him, it's about, life is about all this contradiction. And for him, he can use movie to express this.
True that.
And through storytelling, there's power in learning about the world as well as himself through this process. A lot of times, life is like a movie, and you can write your own ending. And for you both, I wish you the very, very best in your career. And for our audience, I wish you can be your own hero in your own movie, right? Lights, camera, action, and go and live your life. This is it for now. Thank you so much. Until next time. Goodbye.